Part 5 of the Buzz Bubble with Perry Fair at Gray Advertising in New York. Now back to our host, Kevin Kelly, on the Buzz Bubble.
Are you familiar with the One Club adversity program?
Yes, I know Julius Dunn.
And this is an Advertising Age special report. In the ad industry, it's tough to find someone who cares more about diversity than Julius Dunn. Co-founder and director of Adversity, his organization educates minority students about career opportunities in advertising.
You know, it was last year that kind of got abandoned and everybody thought One Club was the bad guy. I think they just, had some financial issues they had to deal with.
Yeah, I think that, I think Julius is an extremely strong talent. I think what the One Show is doing is extremely exceptional too. I really don't know too much on the politics of it, but I know that, what they did when they were together was phenomenal. And I also think that what they're doing, even in their own separate ways, is phenomenal too. So I think Julius is with the 4As now. I think you may have to edit that one out.
We'll find out and we'll look it up.
He's somewhere.
But is someone still trying to cultivate, diversity in the young talent trying to come into the ad business?
Yeah, I think Julius is still doing that. I know the one club does it as well. I think they have two different means to the same end.
Okay.
I think even what Tiffany Warren is doing for ADCOLOR is extremely smart too.
Did you know Julius from? You were at
I'm on the board of the circus.
Yes.
So I know him from there. I know him when he stopped me in the hallway to talk to me about adversity, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea, dude. You should do it."
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, and he did it. I was extremely proud of him. But I think it's a really smart program. I think that there are a lot of different challenges for diversity in advertising, and I know that. My honest opinion, I think that there's some. It doesn't always have to do with the agencies not hiring the best people. I think there is a lack of numbers when it comes.
That's why I thought his program was so great, because it starts at the beginning. Presented these options to kids coming out of schools.
I'll be honest with you.
Have you thought about advertising?
Yeah, my parents had no idea what advertising does or did for quite a long time until I actually went home and talked to them about it. And I would probably go for not just African Americans, for like Latinos or most non-Caucasians. It's not an industry that we have information on. It's not readily available, and we don't know anyone that looks like us that does it. Right. When I got into the business, I pretty much knew everyone that looked like me. Like I knew Jimmy, I knew Kim, I knew Jay Anta. I knew Jay Anta when he first got in the business. I knew Adrian Hilton. I knew most of the major players in the business that were doing it outside of African American agencies.
Right. It was an old boys club old white man's club for a lot of years, and
but I could go on for that. Would be a completely different interview.
We'll have a whole nother show on that.
I could go on for days on that one. My theories on multicultural advertising and general marketing and everything else. I just think that there is a challenge that most people that look like me need to step up to, and it doesn't have to do with diversity. It has to do with the quality of the work. Yeah. And that to me is
absolutely.
If your work is great, make it undeniable that you should have the job. It should not be about, the color of your skin or your gender.
Yeah.
Because if your book is screaming, I have pencils, I have lions, no one will care where you come from. They will drag you into their agencies.
I think Julius started in the right place.
He did.
I don't get candidates walking through my door. People of color don't come through my door. And it's just, I don't see it. I go to the job fairs and I go to...
Well, you know why? Because most people think that you're an artist and you're going to starve. That's the biggest thing. My parents, you're never going to make any money in advertising.
When I came from music, I was in music before I was in advertising, and there was plenty of diversity there.
I know.
We all didn't care we weren't going to make money, or we didn't think about it.
Advertising was a different thing.
Well, people don't think of it as art for so many years. In that stage, everybody has to sit down, including, I don't know how you got into it, but they, if they started as an artist, they said, I didn't think I'd end up in advertising.
Yeah, I started on it, and it's weird. This is all I've ever wanted to do.
But isn't it fun? I mean, I don't think people know. It's art and it's fun.
Yeah, that's what I tell my friends. They're like, I want to be a photographer, but I like to draw. Go in advertising. Why? Well, you get to draw, and then you get to go take the picture of it. They're like, really? I mean, you work with a photographer, you get to work with illustrators, you get to shoot things, you get to draw. Like, look, dude, I saw the full-length feature. Like, what? Like, advertising isn't the end of something. It's actually, you get to work at the highest level of your artistic ability, but you get to do it for brands and yourself. It's like you become better at it. So
I'm going to quote you on that. That is a good sales pitch for everyone. Get into advertising. It's fun.
It is. And it pays well.
Right, yeah, as a musician. So let's jump into the buzz round and get to know Perry, getting to know Perry. So wait, let's go to the family first. What are your kids? Yeah, home?
I have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, Morgan and Madison.
Madison.
Yeah.
Good name.
Cool names. Yeah. They're phenomenal. They, besides them and my wife Tara, they really keep me grounded.
Yeah.
So no matter what I'm shooting or what I'm working on, it's hard to be in advertising at home. So it's just daddy. Yeah.
Nice when you walk through the door, they don't know about brands and media.
Don't care.
TV commercials, except every once in a while. You probably just, Daddy made that one. I mean, come on, you have to.
And they just look and say, oh, okay.
Anyway,
I get the, where are you? I'm like, I'm behind the camera. Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't care. All they want to do is hang out with me and we can draw pictures together. So, yeah.
And that's cool. What's on your iPod? What do you listen to?
I am a obsessive fan with Block Party, Arcade Fire, Justice, Kanye West. Sorry, the Mr. D is on point. I love it. And it sounds really weird. I listen to more Pandora than I do on iTunes.
Yeah, I listen to
pretty much everything.
Well, the cool thing is about Pandora is you have the opportunity to maybe discover something you didn't know about.
That's why I like it. I like it from the viewpoint of I don't have to be fixed into what I bought, which is a closed system. I could get constantly introduced to the music.
And now you have kids. What do you find? Like, where do you listen most? Because I know at home I don't do anything.
Actually, I do a lot of listening at home, but at home we do a lot more jazz and down tempo and electronica. And then in my car I listen to pretty much like more of the Block Party more. I love rock and roll. I like power guitar. So
podcasts, blogs. What do you read? What do you listen to on that front?
One of my creatives has a blog called Resist Comfort. I freaking love it. He's one of the funniest guys I know, Ron Ceballos. And then my mentor and the guy that also helped me get here, Dunn McKinney, has Semi Good Looking on Tumblr. Okay. It's phenomenal too, but I also love Street Etiquette, which is a really great blog. The Oatmeal, good Lord, I can go on and on. I think I maybe 2 hours a day.
It's
actually
hard
just blogging.
Yeah.
Just
reading blogs.
Just reading blogs. Staying current.
It's hard. It's so much great information.
Yeah, selectivism, a continuous lean. Good Lord.
We'll list some of these on the site, so you can send you an email and get all those from you.
Okay.
I saw on Facebook that you posted Tron. I am dying to see that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I was a fan when I was a kid.
You were? That's what I don't know how old you are, but I watched the original Tron on video disc.
Yeah,
analog video discs.
Yeah, I'm literally taking my whole department to go watch it. We're going to shut down and leave.
We haven't done that in a while. We did that when I think the second Matrix movie was. We shut the agency down and we're thinking about it. And Jay's probably going to hold me to it. What Kevin said.
Hold it to him? Yeah. It's going to be a phenomenal movie.
So, and in your free time now, you completed a feature film and now you're in production?
Yep. It's called The Fourth Horseman.
Wow.
And I wrote it with writing partner Marshall Uzzle, who's one of the best writers I've worked with. We co-wrote it, my concept, and Intrepid Pictures purchased it, and it's been greenlit for production, so they're making it now.
Fantastic. When might that actually hit the?
That's supposed to come out 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a fun process to actually see the script evolve, but also it's the first script I've ever written. So it's literally I pitched it to Marshall, crossing a street, and we walked into the Red Garter, a little seedy bar, it's not seedy anymore, off Lincoln in LA. We wrote out our rough contract on a napkin, and we wrote the character Bible off the top of my head. We literally sat down, we wrote that out on napkins too, for the treatment, subscript.
All within that one night?
No, we wrote the treatment. We wrote
well, you said it was a big napkin.
We wrote the treatment over a course of maybe a week.
Okay.
And then we went into a meeting and we pitched it to them and they loved it and they asked us to write the script. We wrote the script, they bought it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was down and dirty, as Tor would say, it was cheap, fast, and out of control. And I love it. It's probably one of the best pieces of work I've done. And I hope they don't, ruin it when they make it, but it's going to be kind of fun.
Cheap, fast, and out of control. I'm going to use that one.
That's a Tor Myhren special.
Fantastic. Well, Perry, thank you so much. It was a real pleasure. I appreciate you taking some time. And let's go get that tour if we can.
All right, come on.
Tune in next week for our agency tour of Gray Advertising in New York and our next guest, Nick Law, Chief Creative Officer of RGA. Take a look at what's coming up next week.
Where's your area?
This is my area. Most of the surfaces were covered in cork for a very specific reason. If we're pitching, usually this wall is covered with stuff like Tor's and Pekin's favorite art collection. It's kind of cool. It feels very, very personal. If this was made just for our move, it represents the clients that we have and have had and a bit of the heritage of Greg.
That looks like a big heavy meeting.
It's because there's a bunch of bald heads in there. Bald head equals serious. Wonderful HR. It's the last place you want to be found. So we're going to walk briskly by, and that's mainly it.
Next week on the Buzz Bubble.